Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey from Jeffrey Hunt Art. Morning. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Uh, I haven't recorded a video in a while. It's allergy season, and I have been fighting these allergies like you would not believe. So I still went out on a limb today to try and record a video for you. So I hope you enjoy it. I don't sneeze too much, maybe a couple sniffles here and there, but bear with me. But what you'll see in this video is I recently created a rock video. Ooh. And in this video, which the music I downloaded from Epidemic Sound, really cool website with a lot of different music that I've been using for my channel. Don't have to worry about any royalties. It's already taken care of with the membership. And what I did, and I'll share with you what I do typically is, like, I'll listen to a song, and sometimes you'll hear it on the radio, and it's like the hair on the back of my neck will just stand up, and somehow I just know that music is just going to move me, and then I start creating scenes in my head, which and I love Clip Studio Paint for this because it's the perfect outlet to combine my love of music and my love of art into my own projects. So I was moved to create a fan-made video, if you will, of the music. So it's basically what you'd be looking at is, hey, this is what was going through my head when I started playing this video. And there's a link at the top of the screen, right there, that you can click on to watch the video in its entirety. If you like Gothic / industrial type music, I mean, this is kind of the scene. At least that was the category that was used. But again, yeah, Epidemic Sound, great place to get music and any other sound effects you might need to make your channel just pop. I always wanted to say that, pop. Yeah, so I'm going to show you here my actual project in Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to take you through the layer folders, show you the animation, and then yeah, we'll just get right into it. Hello everyone, so what you're looking at is my screen in Clip Studio Paint, and I'm going to go through here. I'm going to close and turn off all these folders really fast. That way I can take you through each one. So now you have a screen with nothing on it, see, completely blank. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on this color palette layer, if you will. So it's nothing special, it's just a layer. And what I've done is I took the colors I wanted to use and I dabbed them on with an airbrush. So what I can do then is go back through and refer to this layer using like a color pick tool. And I just, when I want to use a color, I just click on it and grab the color that I want. And I find it's much easier, much faster that way to go through and color what I want to color without having a second guess. Like, which color green was that again? So next layer, well, we'll go down here. So this was basically a planning layer that I used. So this is all of the shots that I wanted to capture in the animation. And you also call them keyframes. So going from left to right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So these are, you think of it as a still of each image that I wanted to capture in the animation, as a skeleton is rocking out in his guitar. Now, professionally, you would probably have numbered these. If you're working with a client, you'd probably show them this first, just to make sure that you're capturing the essence of what the client's asking for. That way, before you take all the time of building the entire animation and finding out, oh, this is not what I wanted something more like this or like that, you can have those conversations on this sheet. And kind of another way is, if you're working with a client, take 2 copies, one for the client, one for you. And you just write on and take notes. And like he says, oh, hey, I'd like to have a more of a bigger grin, you know, in the second frame. Like, oh yeah, I can do that and add that as part of the animation. So, so I'll go ahead and turn this off. Now let's talk about the animation folder. So if you've watched other tutorials, you know that the animation folder is what houses the heart of the animation completely. So we're gonna open this folder, I'm gonna turn it on. And of course, the first frame is always gonna be at the bottom. So what I've done here is I created subfolders inside of the main animation folders. And you say, well, Jeffrey, why did you do that? I mean, there's already a folder there. Why create more folders? Well, I'll tell you. So what I learned how to do, and actually I learned this from other YouTubers, as a matter of fact, who create Clip Studio Paint tutorials. So big shout out to all of them who do that, because I do watch your stuff too. What this allows you to do is, so now I have 3 layers on top of my actual animation cell. So think of this folder as my animation cell. And then I've got 3 layers that are on top of that. So I've got a shading layer, I've got my color layer, and I've got my ink layer, which, you know, just so you all know, I don't use anything fancy. I just use the out-of-the-box G pen that comes with Clip Studio Paint to do a lot of that. And I just repeat the process. So here's my next frame. Again, there's 1, 2, 3 folders. Next cell, same thing. I use the term cell and frame kind of interchangeably. Don't shoot me. And then voila. And so the other thing, kind of a pro tip here, if I turn this back on. So what I'll do is I'll actually, since this is all digital, I will copy. You know, I'll take my lasso tool. Yeah. So you just went to something that I can select. Let's do it this way. Okay. So I can just circle the one I want to use, copy it, paste it onto my animation cell, and then I just go through and finish out the drawing. So saves a little bit of drawing over and over again by copy and pasting from my base, if you will. Yep. A little bit of color there. Let's see. So then I've got my background. My background was here. Let's turn this one back on. This was a previously used background from another work, and like I may have said before, I like to reuse my art and other projects. It helps the workflow go a little bit faster. If I have my own personal library of things that I've created that, like, oh, hey, this look cool, and then I created a correction layer. So I just took all the saturation out of it and made it kind of a gray color. So what was my goal for this particular animation? Well, I was really looking for kind of a grungy, industrial type of a look. You've seen some of my other pieces, you know, I tend to have a little bit more of a crispier design. But I went with a lot looser, clashy type of feel for this video. And in my opinion, I think it turned out pretty cool. I mean, I was happy with it. You know, as an artist, when you make something, sometimes at the end you're like, "Ooh, why did I just spend 3 hours on that?" But I actually felt pretty good. In fact, it's always really good when you build a project, create a project, and you've integrated something else that you've learned into your project. Well, that was what I did by using these additional layers in my animation. So saves a whole lot of time going back through and coloring and refining using these additional folders. Because the other problem that I had was when I was just using animation cells by itself, having to go back through and color each one. I had to be careful because sometimes if you do it wrong, it's like your animation is moving, but your color isn't moving. So until you've tried it and experienced it, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But again, folders make everything much more organized, much more cleaner. So let's look at the actual animation itself. You can see, here's my actual animation folder. I was trying to hide it, but I guess But we go through. You can see that some of these cells are longer than others. So let's think of that in terms of how long the camera is looking at that particular frame. So like frame one, the camera is looking at it all the way up until frame 5, and then that's when it changes. But it's only on this frame it's only on the cell for a couple of frames. And I alternate it, and what I ended up doing, so I'll hit the play button, it gives it that kind of a choppy, fast, slow, jamming out on my guitar to the music kind of a feel. And that's my Clip Studio Paint demo for the animation. If you enjoyed that.